Kellen Moore leaving the Eagles. And that's really the question. Fourth coordinator in 4 years incoming for Philadelphia. They went from Shane Steichen to Brian Johnson to Kellen Moore. Who else did? Oh, and now the next one will be the fourth. I'm thinking, I'm missing someone. No, the next one they hire will be number 4. Why am I not remembering his name? Because we don't know it yet. So how big of an impact is this on a team that hasn't really been dragged down by all this transition every year at a pretty important position on the staff?
No, pretty important. And I mean, we know they had the collapse at the end of the 2023 season, but I don't think it's as big a deal as most football teams. One, I mean, what did we talk about with Philadelphia's offense all year, right? It's simple. That was the one negative. It's just that, man, they don't do a whole lot. So that's what you worry about that, okay? But they don't have to be real complicated, like you saw in the game the other day. I mean, I've showed this on my podcast. It was run up the middle, and it was throw one-on-one balls on the outside. It was throw a go route to A.J., throw a back shoulder to A.J., throw a jump ball to Jahan Dotson or a go route to him. I mean, that's what they do. And within that, they stick with that formula. And Kellen Moore, I mean, this wasn't really like what we've seen from his offense in Dallas or in the Chargers. He ran Philadelphia's offense. He ran what Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni want to do, right? That's one of my issues a little bit at times with Jalen Hurts is because I've been told by people down there that, he doesn't want a ton of offense. He wants to kind of keep it simple. Okay, so that's to be it. Then, you got to play it, you got to execute it, and you got to do it at a high level. But, I think whoever they bring in there doesn't get a blank canvas and go, this is what we do. I think it's a little bit like, hey, we're bringing you in here. This is what Nick Sirianni and Jalen like to do. And now you got to color in those lines and figure out how you want to run the offense from there. And that's why I don't think this is a big a deal as maybe some other teams that might lose a top-notch offensive coordinator.
But it will be a factor in the interview process.
Incredible.
And
no doubt.
Tony Dungy's told me the story before when he was looking for a new offensive coordinator years ago in Tampa Bay when Mike Allstott worked done with 2 running backs. When he was interviewing candidates, he'd say, what's your plan for Dunn and Allstott?
Right.
And some said, well, we'll just put him in our system. And that's not good enough. It can't just be, we're going to take our players and make them fit the system. You got to take the system and make it fit the players. Ben Johnson said they're tearing the offense down to the studs in Chicago for Caleb Williams. You have to, and my good friend, and sometimes text pen pal, Mike Zimmer, told me years ago at the scouting combine, and I'd never thought of it this way before. His dad was a high school football coach, and every year the offense was different. Every year the defense was different. Why? Because you had different players every year.
Sure.
So when you have a quarterback who can't pass but he can run, you run. When you have a quarterback who can pass but can't run, you pass. And that's what coaching is. It's not, I have this system. Now, some systems are so good that you go out and find the players to fit in.
That's right.
But a lot of times you're stuck with the players that you have, and you'd better come up with a system to fit the players. So anyone who's going to interview with Nick Sirianni for the Eagles offensive coordinator job, probably a good idea to say, I'm going to do whatever we have to do to keep this thing going.
That's right.
Well, I'll adapt my system to what you do best.
Right, because like all the things, you laid it out perfectly, Mike. You said it the right way. And all the things you talked about, right, there's some of those there that they don't necessarily apply to Philadelphia. Philadelphia is going to be like, no, you come here. The system we've been running's good, right? Also, to like what you're saying is the players aren't going to change much there. So they know what they are, and they know they can run that system and what they are. That's what's phenomenal about Philly. I mean, they got a few people that are certainly going to hit the free agent market, but when you look at the offensive side of the ball, receivers are locked up, tight ends locked up, running backs locked up, quarterbacks locked up, 2 tackles are locked up. All-pro guard, that's awesome, Landon Dickerson, locked up. Cam Jurgen, center, locked up. I mean, they got nothing to worry about. So they really are just going to be able to tinker with whoever comes in. Hey, come in. Here's our offense. This is what Jalen and Nick Sirianni like to do. And do you got a wrinkle or two that you could add to the offense and we could package it together here? And I think that's kind of what we saw Kellen Moore do. And I think that's what it'll be, very similar to whoever comes in this time around. It's not going to be about just changing things drastically. It's going to be about this is it, and let me figure out a few new wrinkles here and there, but I don't think it's going to look a whole lot different no matter who's in there as OC.
And it's going to be a challenge. It's the kind of thing that maybe keeps you from getting complacent. You have a new personality, a new presence. How's it going to go? What are we going to do? How's it going to look? But at the same time, they will be thinking about the guy who left. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.